Yeah. Woo-wee. Yeah. All right. We are live on YouTube. How is everybody doing today? How are y'all doing today? I'm doing quite well. It's been a wonderful day so far. Can't complain about anything and wouldn't want to even if I had something to complain about because it just isn't worth complaining no matter what. Keep in mind what I just said regarding today's topic because today's topic, if you folks truly learn to understand this, you will accomplish anything and everything you've always wanted to accomplish in life. It just may take longer than you expect it to. And that's okay. That's the way things work. Sometimes we get lucky and things take off right away. And other times, most of the time, it takes a long time to accomplish something. And there are a lot of variables involved. We'll get into all of that as the show goes on. It's a little bit windy at the trail today. I hope you can all hear me. Oh, wow, look at this. Look at the water there. It's moving. It's a bit of wind. You can see it right there on the water. I'm hoping that I'm not going to have many issues with sound. Hopefully the windscreen will take care of that. There are some people up ahead walking their dog. Let me see if they enter the trail. Give them a head start. Always be aware of your surroundings, folks. So obviously they didn't, looks like they're not going on the trail. I'm gonna wait for them to pass. And show you this beautiful view right here. And just keep the camera still here for a second. You know, that couple coming with a bigger dog saw a lady coming with a smaller dog, and they didn't even try to get out of the way. They just kept walking, and they didn't even try to get out of the way of me. Like, they just stood side by side instead of moving off to the side. It's like people nowadays just really don't take people's feelings, wants, and needs into consideration. People are very, very, very entitled, and I could tell that couple that just passed by with that dog, they were millennials. I can tell they were in their 30s. So they're damn millennials, and it's just like I hate to keep criticizing the millennials, but they have no fucking manners at all. None. They never learned fucking manners, right? They feel they're entitled to the whole damn road. They feel people should move out of the way for them instead of them moving out of the way when necessary. And it's in their subconscious. Like, that's the way they were raised. They think that is normal. They think that is the normal way of life. And if that's the way life is heading, right? If life is headed in the entitlement way and our future generations are going to be nothing but entitled, then, I'm glad. I'm glad I won't be around for that, because I don't want to live in a generation where everyone expects everyone else to move out of the way instead of us making the effort to move out of the way and be courteous to others, right? Yeah, I'm not here to do a rant on millennials today. I've done plenty of those, and I'm sure there will be plenty more up ahead. We'll save those for Coach Eli too, and some in-studio streams with my lady. Good afternoon, Elias, says Lewis. How you doing, Lewis? Welcome to the show, bro. How's it going, man? Thank you so much for being here. So again, at the beginning of the stream today, in case you haven't heard yet, and I'm going to be talking about this at the beginning of every one of my walking streams here on this channel, and once the change happens on Coach Eli 2, when it gets monetized within a few weeks, I'll be talking about it a lot there. It's going to sound like a broken record, but you know, need to make sure that everyone is aware of what's going on. A few days ago, I added another membership package to this channel, Coach Eli, Elias Melas, that's been monetized for 2.5 years. And I have decided to make most, if not all, of my future live streams members only chat, meaning that the actual video portion will be viewable to the public, but only channel members will be able to chat. Now, if you're not a channel member and you're a moderator, moderators are exempt from this. Moderators automatically bypass the members only chat feature, whether they're a member or not. Moderators do not need to be a member to chat. It's business as usual for moderators. But if you're not a moderator and you're not a channel member, the only other way you can chat is by going to the bottom of the chat and tapping on the super chat and sending a super chat. It's only $2.99 per month to chat in my chats. And very briefly, to mention the same thing I mentioned yesterday, you know, my lady and I, who's my business partner, my lady's my business partner, her and I decided to do this past week for many reasons. Number one, you know, we've given away a lot of things for free. I've given away a lot of things for free, you know, over the last 5+ years out here on YouTube. And my lady's been doing this with me for almost 3 months now, and she's given away a lot of information for free that's been very helpful. And, you know, we've started to see some people get some really good value, you know, from our live streams within our public live stream chats, non-members only live stream chats. So we figure, okay, now's the time to, you know, flip the switch and make the chats a premium feature for people. Looks like a bird was like destroyed out here. I'm not going to show it on the camera. I don't think YouTube would like that. Some bird is like all over the trail there, like torn up. I don't know if a squirrel got it or something, or I don't know how that happened, but anyway, it's a sad sight. But we wanted to make the chats members only chats, so we keep the chats clean and free of most trolling and hate and inappropriate conversation in the chats. And also, you know, we realized that, you know, for people that truly value our content and truly want to participate and truly want to support the message because they're getting value from it, $2.99 per month, let's round it up to $3 just for shits and giggles, because that's what it is. $3 per month is a drop in the bucket. And members will get the majority of my attention when it comes to responding to chats, obviously now because it's members only, and they'll also get the majority of my attention, you know, if they comment on the live stream replay or pre-recorded video. So for $2.99, you will be able to chat in my chats. If you want full access to everything I have to offer membership-wise, including 21 pre-recorded members-only videos and 2 members-only live stream replays, and if you also want access to possible future members only live streams that can only be done from the studio, you're going to have to purchase the $4.99 package minimum. I have packages ranging from $4.99 to $99.99. Anything between $4.99 and $99.99 will get you the exact same thing. Will get you everything, including the members only chats. But it's up to you how much you want to donate per month to sponsor the channel. If you just want members only chats and nothing else beyond that regarding membership perks, it's going to be just $2.99. Very simple, very affordable. You break it down literally to 10 cents per day. 10 cents per day. And you can come in any day I'm live and ask me any questions and pretty much get my undivided attention. Now, when Coach Eli 2 gets monetized within a few weeks, we're getting closer and closer each and every day. When Coach Eli 2 gets monetized, the same packages for membership will be created on that channel, and the same will apply there. My live stream chats from the studio, and by the way, these Walking with Purpose streams will be moved over to Coach Eli 2 at that point. All of that on Coach Eli 2 will go to members only chat as well. Same price, same membership structure, etc. So that is that. With that being said, there's a lot of great content that my lady and I have been creating on Coach Eli 2, and even some of it's been done solo by myself. Yesterday I did a great stream. If you didn't get a chance to view it, check it out. I did this one solo, and it was regarding women are marrying, more so marrying their careers than men. Women are choosing to marry their careers over marrying men or committing to men, right? They're choosing their careers over men. And I went over 3 very interesting and recent blogs that went into great detail, and I also shared my thoughts and opinions every step along the way. I believe it was just under 2 hours. Very informative. And especially if you're a lady, because I help men and women. Just because I'm a man doesn't mean I don't help women. I help both men and women. And I, love and respect men and women equally. And both men and women can learn from this, but more so ladies. You got to check this out. And, I did the stream in the best way possible where, it wasn't coming off offensive. And I wasn't trying to come off offensive. I never try to come off offensive. I just know based on what I've experienced in my life recently and in the past, and in talking with other men and other women, and including now being with my woman for 10 months, and she's experienced this all her life. I have a wealth of knowledge, and so does my lady, regarding this topic. So ladies, if you're struggling to balance your work and personal life, and you're choosing to be single because you feel if you start dating a man or get married to a man, your career is done, you're going to have to check out the stream. Because you do have other choices, you do have other options, and that doesn't mean you have to give up your career. It doesn't mean you have to give up your career. And that's as far as I'm going to go, sharing about that stream, because if I keep going, I'm going to give away everything. And then I'm not going to have much time left to do today's topic here. So lots of great content happening on Coach Eli 2. Make sure you subscribe to Coach Eli 2 uncensored live streams. Nightbot's been sharing the link every 7 minutes, or just go to youtube.com/Coach Eli uncensored. That's youtube.com/Coach Eli uncensored. More than likely, I'll be changing that channel name, probably a few days or a week or so before I get monetized. When I get within a few hours or a few hundred hours, which we're getting close to that, once we get to within a few hundred hours of 4,000 watch hours to go into review for monetization, which typically takes a few days now, pretty quick, I'm probably going to change the channel name at that point. So that's pretty much everything. Life's been pretty chill. I've been spending time with my lady, and we've just been focusing on, stuff within our relationship, our families, paying bills, consolidating things, doing things that couples do to prepare for the next step of moving in together and having a future permanent life together. And my lady and I have just been excuse me excuse me a second here. I took an Allegra before I hit the trail. Allergy medicine, non-drowsy. And by the time I hit the trail, everything's broken down, and it just gets stuck in the throat. You gotta clear it out, right? But yeah, my lady and I have been staying out of drama, online and offline. We just have learned to not waste our time, or effort or energy on dealing with unreasonable people, right? Whether they're in our real life or on YouTube, and it's just a great feeling, right? It's a great feeling. You just, get to do your own thing. It's very relaxing and peaceful. Lewis Fuller says, yes, I was like that this morning. With the allergies, Lewis? Yeah, man. It's been one of the worst allergy seasons in history. But it is what it is. So let's get right to this episode of Walking with Purpose. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, the Walking with Purpose live edition, live from the San Francisco Bay Trail here in beautiful Redwood City, California. This is episode number 331, episode number 331. Lewis says the allergies can be very annoying. Of course, Lewis. Many people have allergies to pollen and other things, and all you can do is manage it. I mean, I can definitely smell the allergens out here. And when you get a good whiff out of them, you can feel it instantly affecting you. But if you take allergy medication, it does help. It doesn't cure the issue, and it doesn't prevent you. It doesn't, completely rectify the situation, but it makes it tolerable and manageable. You still have to clear your throat every now and then and blow your nose and all that. And that's what a lot of people get confused by. They confuse allergies with the common cold. With allergies, you still, can have a runny nose or mucus in your throat and stuff, right? So the right thing to do is to take the right medication, which is allergy medication. If you have it super, super bad, you can go to your doctor and get prescription strength allergy medication, which works even better for people that have it really, really, really bad. I don't have it at the worst level, but I have it pretty good. But Allegra and Flonase typically work well for me. But anyway, this is episode number 331. And today, I'm going to be discussing with you folks, life is like climbing a mountain. Slowly but surely, you'll get to the top. One more time, life is like climbing a mountain. Slowly but surely, you'll get to the top. You know, there are so many examples I can use, and I'll use a bunch here, as many as I can while I'm live, that will explain to you folks what I mean by this. And I'm hitting a big patch of wind here. Hopefully you can hear me. Give me a second, folks. So I have many examples to share regarding how life is like a mountain, and slowly but surely you'll get to the top. Everybody in life wants to be successful at everything. Everyone wants to be successful, financially. They want to be successful in a relationship or marriage, right? They want to have lots of great friends. They want to accomplish certain things. Extracurricular activities. People want to get better at them. My lady loves darts. She wants to be the best dart player possible. And speaking to the devil, hey there all, respectfully, maturely, and professionally is in the house. Hey babe, how are you doing? Today we're discussing life is like a mountain. Slowly but surely you'll get to the top. And babe, this is something, with no disrespect intended, this is something that you've struggled with and may kind of still be struggling with. And this is something that I've struggled with in the past. We've all struggled with this, right? We all want instant results, especially in a modern world with smartphones, right? And tablets and computers and information at the touch of a button wherever you're at. We want instant gratification, right? You can thank the millennials again for creating a world of instant gratification, right? But not everything in life can be accomplished instantly. Some things take a lot of time. And if you're trying to accomplish something and you put in a lot of time and effort into it and you haven't accomplished it yet, and you start to complain and you're thinking about giving up, okay, that's not the right way to look at it. And before I share some specific examples, let me give you the mountain analogy, right? Okay. Let's say, you do mountain climbing, right? I've never done mountain climbing, but I've known people that have done it. I've heard the story. I know how it's done. I've seen it on TV, etc., right? Let's say that you get together with a small group of friends, and you typically pay a state park or somewhere where they have mountain climbing sessions where you have a guide that goes up there with you, right? Now you can do it on your own, I believe, in some areas, but you can also pay for a guide, right? And let's say you're going to climb up a 10,000 foot mountain, right? Which should probably be at least a half a day or all day, event, right? You get your safety harness, you have your safety rope, you have all that stuff, right? You're all set to go, right? And you start climbing up the mountain, right? The first 1,000 feet, no problem. The next 1,000 feet at 2,000, no problem. 3,000, no problem. At about 4,000 or 5,000, you start to feel it getting a little more difficult. Why? Because the air is thinner. The higher the elevation, the thinner the air, right? So what does that mean? You have to work harder. You have to push yourself harder, right? And you have to keep a positive attitude, right? And when you get to, 4,000 or 5,000 feet and you start to get a little more tired, in order to get to the second half, or in order to get to the top and finish the second 5,000 feet, you got to say, hey, I've done the first 5,000, only 5,000 more to go. I've got this. We've got this. Let's do it, right? So now you're at 6,000 feet. And now it's taking you almost twice as long to go up each additional foot than it did the first 5,000. Why? Because the air is thinner. You're getting more tired, right? But you can still do it. It's still possible to do it, right? As long as you keep your head up, right? You get to 7,000 feet, right? Now you're like, shit, I'm almost 3/4 of the way up, right? 7,000 feet, that's 70%. Now you're at 8,000 feet. You're 80% of the way, right? And you're like, wow, the air is getting thinner and thinner, and I'm getting more and more tired and more drained, right? An older gentleman is jogging the trail. Very respectful. And then you're like, I'm at 8,000 feet. Wow. Most people wouldn't even make it this far. You're probably right. Because they've given up, right? They've given up when they're so close to the top, right? So you're like, screw it. Only 2,000 feet to go. So now you're going from 8,000 to 9,000 feet, right? You're super tired, but slowly and surely, you get to 9,000 feet and you are really, really pooped. And you're like, wow, I'm only 1,000 feet from the top and hitting the summit, right? What an accomplishment that would be, right? That's what you want to accomplish, right? I will tell you, folks, over 90% of the people in this world would get to 9,000 and would say, I'm pooped. I don't have it in me. This is good enough. I can't do it, right? And those people give up. And what happens to the people that give up? Right? They get back to the bottom of the mountain and they're like, I regret not trying to do that last 1,000. I could have done it. I got that far. Why did I not push myself through the last 1,000 feet? I know I could have done it. This is what everyone contemplates, folks, when they've been trying to accomplish something in particular for a long time. And because they haven't reached the top of the mountain yet, they give up and they start going back down. And then they reach the bottom and they're like, oh shit, well, now I'm at the bottom. So if I want to reach the top, I'm starting over, right? The analogy is, if you make it up 90% of the way of the mountain, and you give up and you go back down to the bottom, even if you know you can get to 10,000 feet, now you have to start over again, right? Instead of thinking, I'm at 9,000 feet, 1,000 more to go, keep pushing forward. Keep pushing forward. The reason why most people never reach success in things that they want to accomplish is because they give up at 90%. They give up when they're 90% of the way there. That's what happens. You know, I've been talking about this a lot. I'll talk about it some more here. My coaching business here. I've been doing this on YouTube for 5.5, closing in on 6 years. And my business is nowhere near where I want it to be. Why is that? Why is my business nowhere near where I want it to be? Because I kept climbing up that mountain, that 10,000 foot mountain. I got to 9,000 feet, and then I went back down the mountain. Figuratively speaking, of course. And there were many things that sent me back down that mountain. Sometimes it was me just saying, screw it, I'm walking back down the mountain. Other times, I allowed other people on this platform and in my real life to push me down that mountain and lead me to believe that you're not cutting it. You're not worth it. You're not good at what you do. The court of public opinion has spoken. Nobody wants you here, right? You know how many times I heard that shit? I heard it so many times, right? And every time I would hear that stuff, I would either walk down the mountain myself from 9,000 feet, or I'd get pushed. I'd let these people push me down the mountain. And I've gotten to the point right now where right now I am at 9,000 feet. And it might take me a year to climb up 1,000 feet or 2 years to climb up 1,000 feet. But I'm staying at 9,000 feet. And I'm going to slowly move up 1 foot at a time. 9,001 feet, 9,002, 9,003. Then at 9,100, 9,200, 9,300, 9,400, 9,500. Now I'm 500 feet away. 9,600, 9,700, 9,800, 9,900, 9,999 feet. And right before I hit 10,000, I'm going to pause. And I'm not going to go down in the blaze of glory because I'm not going down. I made it to the top. Why? Because I didn't stop. I didn't give up. I kept pushing forward. Life is tough, folks. Life is tough. But every single one of us can accomplish anything we want to accomplish as long as we set our mind to it, stay consistent, and keep pushing forward no matter what happens to us or no matter what other people try to do to us to stop us. You've got to stay focused. You've got to stay determined. You've got to really want it. You've got to really want it for the right reasons. I want this coaching business to work because I love helping people. I love helping people. Beautiful. And I love what I do so much that if I could do it for free, I would do this for free. That's how much I love it. When you love what you do and you would do what you do all day, every day for free if you could, then it's not really work. It's not work when you love what you do. And that's why I keep doing this each and every day. This isn't work. This is me enjoying my purpose. I get to come out here almost each and every day and take a walk with you folks and kill two birds with one stone. Get my exercise in for the day, a 3.5 mile walk, and share some positive and uplifting personal development stuff with you folks to help uplift you and get you going on the right track so you can accomplish whatever you want to accomplish. And if you're already on the right track, I can help you by further inspiring you to keep pushing forward. Because people that are already in the right track can easily fall back. We've all done that, including myself. Excuse me. Let me reset the chat, folks. I will be right back. All right, we are back live. We are back live. We're almost at the observation deck. Wow, I'm getting much quicker at these walks. We are at 35 minutes. You know, to be really fair, some people may ask, Eli, you've got 2 people watching your live streams. One is probably your girlfriend. The other is probably Lewis Fuller. Isn't that discouraging? Well, first of all, you're probably right. One is probably my girlfriend. The other is probably Lewis Fuller, right? And is that discouraging? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because, you know, come 1 or come 100 or come 1,000. It doesn't matter. All that matters is that I love what I do. And I come out here each and every day and share my truth with people. And just because there are only 1 or 2 people here today doesn't mean that there won't be 3 or 4 tomorrow. And the next day, 5 or 6. And the next day, 10 to 15. And the next day, 20 to 25. Or it may take longer, right? This is what I want to try to tell you, folks. You got to keep climbing up the mountain until you hit the top. And then when you hit the top, you got to learn how to maintain at that point. Maintain that level. And don't let it get to your head. And don't change what you were doing that got you to the top. A lot of times when people get to the top of the mountain, right, they try to change things, right? Then they say, okay, well, the next time, you know, I'm going to try to climb up a 20,000 foot mountain, right? Or 15,000 foot mountain, right? Okay? And there's a big difference. Once you get to the top of your mountain, that's a good place to be. It's a wonderful place to be, right? You don't always have to be looking for the next best thing or the latest, greatest thing. You should become content. I'm not saying, you know, get lazy, right? And don't do any new things, but don't do any drastic things, because now you got to the top. Now you feel you're indestructible and you could do a mountain, you know, you could climb a mountain twice as high, right? It was hard enough to get up that first mountain of 10,000 feet. Why would you immediately want to turn around and do a 20,000 foot mountain, right? Because what that would do, in my opinion, is, you know, if you didn't make it to the top, which it would be harder, and you probably wouldn't, I'm just saying, it would make you feel like you haven't accomplished and reached the top. Once you reach the top, be happy with the top you've reached and stay there and be humble. And never lose focus of your roots that got you there. Then you sit back and you talk with yourself and say, hey, this is what it took to get here. And then you help other people by sharing your stories and encouraging them to get there too. In today's day and age, especially with the millennials and post-millennials, and sometimes my generation too, Gen X, and even some boomers, some people are just never satisfied. They can reach the top and still want more. right? They can reach the top and still want more and keep pushing and pushing and pushing for more when they've already got it all. And what happens when you do that? In most cases, you go all the way back down to the bottom of the initial mountain and you lose it all, right? Nobody's coming, so I'm going to come to the observation deck for a minute or two and then head on back. It's a really beautiful day out here. Beautiful day. And there have been some strong, gusts of wind, but they've been occasional. It's been pretty nice. We are at 41 minutes. I'm going to start to head on back. Let me reset the chat one more time, folks. All right, we're back live. Going back down the observation deck. Before I continue with today's topic, I just want to update you folks. My lady and I, we haven't done a show in a few days because it's been a pretty crazy week for her. She's had a lot of things to do within her own personal life, finances and other clerical things she's been dealing with. It's all good stuff. It just takes time, And so, she's been a little exhausted, and when she came over to my place last night, she was so tired. Like she crashed on my couch for a little bit. She was just really, really exhausted. She had a lot to do yesterday before coming over. And that said, her and I, at some point, we don't know exactly when that may be again. We have not been, pre-scheduling our shows. We have a couple shows we're going to be doing probably over the next 2 to 3 days. One of them is going to be part 3 of the Millennial Show we've been meaning to do. Part 1 and 2 were done last week. We're going to do part 2 over the weekend, last weekend, or on Monday, but just, hey, life happens, right? We'll get to it, right? But my lady also sent me another topic that was very interesting, and I think this is going to get a lot of traction because I think a lot of people are going to want to hear our spin on this. She sent me a great blog article regarding new study shows life coaching is on par with therapy. One more time, new study shows life coaching is on par with therapy, which is what I'm trying to say. And right when I saw her send me that link, before I even clicked in on it, I was like, this is fascinating. And I checked it out, and it's a really, really good article. Very good article. And I believe she's going to be joining me on that episode when we do it. That's probably going to be the next piece of content that we do. And again, we're not going to throw out a time or a day because we've just been going live when we can. So if you want to catch that show, make sure you subscribe to Coach Eli 2 Uncensored Live Streams. Nightbot's been sharing the link every 7 minutes, or just go to youtube.com/Coach Eli Uncensored. That's youtube.com/Coach Eli Uncensored. So more examples regarding, life is like a mountain. Life is like climbing a mountain. Slowly but surely, you'll get to the top. The same holds true for relationships and dating, especially in the modern world. The moral of the story, again, here is, and anything else, is that people that don't get to the top of the mountain regarding anything you're trying to accomplish, top of the mountain figure speech, you're basically giving up on yourself. You're giving up too soon. You don't want to put in any effort, right? And again, I hate to keep going back to millennials and the Gen Zers, the post-millennials, the I generation, Gen Zers. It's this entitlement attitude because most of you were raised and handed everything. I mean, you were given a pacifier for everything to the point of where now that's the way you're living your life and you're expecting everything to be easy, and things that aren't easy you give up on right away, right? I think most people, whether they're millennials, post-millennials, or other generations, I think most people now realize that certain things are just not easy. Most things that are worthy and valuable are not easy and do not come by easily, right? And dating is one of those things. Dating involves there to be chemistry. It involves two people being physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually connected, right? And if you don't feel that large rush or spark of sexual attraction when you first meet, nothing else matters. And if you are attracted to each other physically and the emotional bond isn't there and the mental stimulation isn't there and the spiritual connection isn't there, it's not going to end up working long term. It may be a quick fling because you're sexually attracted to each other. But most normal people want something genuine and long-lasting. Most people want something long-term. The reason why, they've given up on a long-term thing is because it takes too much time and effort to find that. Well, again, if you truly want to accomplish things in life and get to the top of the mountain in all aspects of your life, it's going to take time. Everything takes time and patience, dedication, devoting yourself to it, right? When I found my woman through Match.com, and in between past relationships on Match.com, until I got into a new relationship, I was devoted to Match.com. Now that may sound pretty crazy. It may make me come off as desperate or needy or something, but that's not the case. I was dedicated and devoted to finding the right person. I put in time, energy, and effort into it, and that's why I have the woman I have today. And see, the woman I have today lives a little over an hour away from where I live. Typically, as with anyone, you prefer to date someone as close to you, living as close to you as possible. But one thing I did to open up my horizons, to further my horizons and further my chances of finding the right person, is I extended my search radius. Usually it was about 75 miles, but I think I even extended it this time to 100 miles. Now my lady is about 75 miles away from me, maybe 72 miles away from me, something like that. I was dedicated to it. I put in time and effort into it. And I kept climbing up that mountain. And every time a connection didn't work out, okay, I didn't move up that mountain, but I didn't get knocked down that mountain. I stayed at the same level and said, okay, this one didn't work out, but I'm not going backwards. I'm going to stay here and I'm going to try again, right? And then when you keep trying and putting in energy and effort, you start talking to 2 or 3 women, and they all have an interest in you and things are going well, right? And then you filter 2 of the 3 out, and that leaves you with 1. And then you meet that one that you feel is going to give you the best chance to get to the top of the mountain with, right? That's what I did with my lady. And then boom, right when I met her and she met me, we knew we hit the top of the mountain. That's because her and I put in time and effort, and we devoted ourselves, we dedicated ourselves, and we took Match.com seriously. And we responded to people in a reasonable amount of time. We didn't take days to respond. You know, we put in effort into it. Folks, when you put effort into things, that's when things start heading in the right direction. And sometimes you're going to put effort into things that don't go anywhere, but how would you know if they would have gone anywhere or not if you didn't put in the effort? Sometimes people are just afraid to put in effort because most of the time their effort gets wasted. Well, that is true, but if you make no effort at all because you're afraid that most of your efforts are going to fail, so you don't want to waste your energy, then you're never going to get anywhere, right? If you're too guarded, you're not going to get anywhere. You got to put your guard down and keep climbing up that mountain. And when you're on that mountain, it doesn't matter if it's raining, it doesn't matter if the sun is out, it's 100 degrees, it doesn't matter if it's snowing, it doesn't matter, the weather doesn't matter. You keep climbing up that mountain in any weather. This guy coming on the trail here. Let me see. Looks like today we have some traffic on the 101. I'm out here a little bit later than yesterday. There's some good traffic on the 101 today. What else can we talk about? If you enjoy recreation activities, my lady enjoys playing darts. And she's asked me, you know, hey babe, we should go to places that have dartboards more often so I can practice my darts, right? And I'm like, that sounds cool. We can go play darts at times. Now, the truth of the matter is, I don't dislike playing darts, but it's not my most favorite thing to do. I don't hate darts. I think they're fun. But there are other things at the top of my list that I enjoy doing, like hiking and stuff like that, which my lady, it's not that she doesn't enjoy hiking, it's just that she's had some respiratory issues she's still getting in order through her doctors, and she just hasn't felt comfortable going hiking. But basically hiking to me is like, you know, playing darts for her, right? And she's wanted to become better because she had a bad week at darts, and she's like, I just haven't been practicing enough, I need to practice more, right? Okay, no problem. No problem. If that's a true passion of yours and it would make you happy to be the best dart player during your spare time for your dart league, then go for it. Practice every day. Get a dartboard, put it up in your place, right? Or she was even saying, hey, let's get a dartboard in your place. I'm like, no problem. No problem. You can practice your darts while I do some shows or a walk or something, right? If it's that important to you and you enjoy it and you want to be the absolute best at it, you got to keep climbing up that mountain. You got to keep practicing every day. Shoot darts every day for at least 20 minutes to a half an hour, right? It's the same thing with my business on YouTube, okay? Like right now, I've got 4 people. Okay, cool. I've got 2 more people than I did 45 minutes ago. How long have we been on for? 55 minutes, right? Or is that 65? I'll be right back. I'm going to reset the chat. All right, we're back live. We're back live. We're at 56 minutes. It's like I was saying earlier. There were only 2 people here. Now there are 4. Welcome to the show. That's an improvement. You know, it might not be a huge improvement. It's not like there's 1,000 people here, right? Or 100 people here, or 50 people here, or even 10 people here. But that's an improvement, and any improvement is an improvement, right? Folks, in order to climb to the top of the mountain, you got to start at the bottom. Everyone starts at the bottom, right? You got to start somewhere, right? And sometimes, even if you've, like I mentioned earlier, even if you've climbed halfway up the mountain, or sometimes maybe 90% of the mountain, and then you let others kick you down the mountain, or you kick yourself down the mountain, once that happens, whether it's other people kicking you down the mountain or you kicking yourself down the mountain, you're starting over again, right? So that's what's happening to me. I used to have bigger audiences. I used to have more active chats and this and that, right? And I was still trying to figure out my game plan and how to incorporate my coaching business into YouTube. I was also learning the different personality types and target marketing and stuff like that, and trolls and haters and all that, right? Sometimes part of the learning process to make it to the top of the mountain involves you getting kicked off the mountain or kicking yourself out off the mountain, right? It's not that you want to do that, but sometimes that just happens in certain situations that you can't help because you're learning how to get to the top of that mountain. You know, if you've heard the phrase, if at first you don't succeed, try and try again. Try and try again, right? In most cases, you're probably going to fall off that mountain 100 times before you make it to the top. And the last time you fall off it, you're going to be 90% of the way there. You're going to be right there, further ahead than ever before. And then you fall off. And most people, instead of trying 1 or 2 more times, that would probably take you to the top, people give up. They're like, shit, I made it 90%. If I can't make it any further than 90%, well, I'm there. I'm never going to make it. It's not worth it. Nope, you're giving up on yourself. You've slowly but surely gotten better. You become stronger. You've probably built more muscles to the point where now you can make it up that mountain. Now, we're using it here as a figure of speech, but it's the same thing regarding anything you want to accomplish. Again, my coaching business. I've learned so many things about YouTube, more things about how to run this business. I've learned better ways to present my content, and my deliveries become a lot better, right? It's all been a learning experience, right? So if I were to just walk off the face of the planet and shut down all my YouTube channels now, okay, right when I'm about to really get things going, how do you think that would make me feel? How would you feel, right? Wouldn't make me feel good. It would make me feel like I'm not really cut out for anything. It would make me feel like I'm not cut out for this. I'm not cut out for anything. It would not only affect me, because I love coaching, it would affect me, and I would probably tell myself, dude, you're not cut out for anything. If you can't do this, you can't do anything. You're a failure, right? At that point, it would be like sinking into depression, right? You don't want to get to that point. You want to keep pushing forward, like I said. You want to continue to climb up the mountain. And if you fall, you got to keep starting over. Now, here's the thing. Some people will say, is there a point in time where doing something too many times and continuing to fail, you should just stop and move on and do something else? That's up to you. And it depends on the situation that you're in. It depends on the situation that you're in. If you're in a situation like I'm in, where I have the resources to do this, then there's no reason to give up. And if my resources were to run out and I need to do something else, at that point, I would really have no choice to do something else, right? Got to keep fighting. Got to keep fighting, folks. Got to keep pushing forward. I know deep within myself, I know my content is not, it's not the most exciting content. Sorry, there's a plane coming. What is that? That chopper is going very, very slow. I don't know if that's like a police chopper or if that's like a traffic chopper or something like that. Anyway, folks, as we head towards the last part of the trail here, I know my content is not the most entertaining content. It's not attacking other people. It's not, the most exciting thing to listen to, right? So I know it's going to be much harder to build an audience and keep an audience around. I've seen people pop in and out of the stream and they're like, oh, okay, there's no drama here. It's boring stuff, same old shit, talking about life's principles and blah, blah, blah. I don't want to hear it, right? I don't need help with my life. I don't need any of this and that, right? I get it, right? And that's what makes my my field much more difficult to penetrate, right? And it used to be back in the days where, I used to go back and forth creating drama content and then going back to my regular content. I'd see my numbers fluctuate and shift, right? And it used to frustrate me. It used to upset me, right? And some of the crazy things that people do on this platform used to frustrate me and upset me. But I no longer let it affect me. I no longer let it get to me. Even if there are 0 people here, 1 people, 2 people, right? I'm going to run my shows as if there were 100 people here, and those one or two people will get some value, or hopefully get some value. And again, slowly but surely, the right people will find out about me, and that's what's going to get me to the top of the mountain regarding this business. You know, a lot of people have said things about me. You know, there's been a lot of negative stuff said about me. That happens to YouTubers. It happens to people running the business on the internet. But at the same time, many of these people have said, I mean, that, you know, the one thing I do respect about Eli is he doesn't stop. He keeps going. He can make $0. He can have 0 in the box. He can have 10 views, 5 views, 1 view, and he keeps putting out consistent content. Yeah, that's me. That's who I am. And that's what you need to do too, if you want to make it happen, right? So I'm about to get to the very final part of the trail. Got about another maybe 12 to 15 minutes before I'm off the trail. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this stream at this point here, because there isn't a lot more to say regarding the topic. I think you folks understand the point of life is like climbing a mountain. Slowly but surely, you'll get to the top. I think you understand what it's going to take to get to the top and stay at the top. And once you get to the top, don't push your limits, right? Everybody has limits, right? Even though, you know, a lot of people will come out and say the opportunities are limitless, or our capabilities are limitless. Yes, in theory, I feel the same way. And in theory, that's a motivational thing to say, look, you can accomplish whatever you want. But the truth of the matter is, if you look at it a little bit more deeply, every human being has limits, right? And if we've hit the top of the mountain, and a 10,000 foot mountain is the highest we can climb, we don't need to try to climb a 15,000 or 20,000 foot mountain to prove we're accomplished. We've already accomplished something. We've hit our limit, and we're happy at our limit, right? We don't have to push our limit and then possibly hurt ourselves or go the opposite way regarding what we worked hard to get to, right? Once you get to the top, you want to stay at the top and not fall off. But what happens to most people? They get to the top and it isn't good enough, and they want more. They push themselves and they lose everything. Hollywood stars go through that all the time. I'm one that whenever I reach the top at anything, I've never gone the other way. I've never pushed it beyond what it was meant to be pushed, or my capabilities. With that being said, folks, I want to thank you all for taking the time to be here on this live stream or view this video. If you're watching the live stream replay, please like, share, subscribe, bang the bell, select the notifications. Also subscribe to Coach Eli 2 Uncensored Live Streams. Nightbot's been sharing the link every 7 minutes, or go to youtube.com/Coach Eli Uncensored, or go below in the description and you will see a link to Coach Eli 2 there. Have yourselves a great day. Take care. And as always, please be good to each other.